I woke up this morning half expecting the manager to be gone. Half hoping, but also a bit of expectation. I thought to myself after last night's game, yesterday's game, I thought, that's it. They'll know. The owners will know now. Surely that's as clear as day to anybody that that's it. For many of you, certainly for me, it's been clear for quite a long time that the manager, whether you think he was a dead man walking or whether you think he had to go, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. It's over. It really is. So anyway, so today I expect that to happen at any point. The phone is going to buzz, and the One Football app, as I should probably mention, as we are sponsored by, was going to buzz and give me the story that Manuel Pellegrini has left by mutual consent, and onward ensue the normal a press release statement where the owners thank him for all his hard work but want to move in a different direction and all of that sort of thing. But anyway, it didn't pop up from the One Football app, available in the link below, if you know what I mean. No, a very different story popped up. There was a story on Claret and Hugh, and the story went on to say that if Manuel Pellegrini loses against Bournemouth, he's gone. The job, he's lost his job. What? Bournemouth? Hold on, that's not even the next game. The next game's Leicester. That's the game after New Year's Day game, right? If he loses to Bournemouth, he's gone. But, it's a but, that would prove very, very difficult for any new manager coming in, because they wouldn't have time to identify players. It's a little bit too late to bring someone in. The insinuation is so maybe it wouldn't happen. I believe the story, by the way. I believe the story. I believe that Claret and Hugh has had contact with the club, and that is a story coming out of the club. 100%. Which makes it all the more worrying. Why Bournemouth? Why not now? Because this has a very, very familiar ring to it. If you could be bothered to follow the lineage of the Avram Grant story, what you would find is up to the point where he got the sack. The whole story was punctuated with reports of him needing to be sacked. He needed to go. It was quite clear that we were going down. But the owners delayed and delayed and delayed until it was too late. It looks like they're repeating the same mistake here. It looks like they haven't learned, not even from someone else's experiences. It looks like they haven't even learned from their own experience, which is to dither and delay for too long. But even if we just take the article at its word, which is that the owners are voicing concerns that whoever they bring in won't have time to identify players, well, that's your fault. That is absolutely your fault. There's no way that should be the case, because you've known for a long time. This is not a new situation. What's happened against Crystal Palace is not a new situation. It's not even a new situation for something that's happened against Crystal Palace this season. He has been a dead man walking for a long, long time. It doesn't matter whether you think he's got the dressing room, whether he's lost the dressing room. It doesn't matter if he's lost the... They're not playing for him. If he's got the dressing room, it doesn't matter. Because the players are following a doctrine that's not working. So even if they are following the instructions are poor. If they're not, it doesn't matter. Whichever way you look at it, things aren't working. We're going down. Don't think for a second that we are not bang in trouble. Could we possibly scrape enough points to stay safe? Yes. But would you be confident in it? Well, I think you'd have to be the most fervent Pellegrini supporter to believe that his tactics are suddenly going to change, that suddenly we're going to start getting a consistent string of results. You really would have to. Because he's sold his philosophy in many respects. It's a sad sight to see. This is not somebody even failing at something he's choosing to do. This is somebody failing at somebody else's tactics. Pellegrini's tactics are gone. He doesn't play with that anymore. That swashbuckle, what we saw from him when he, at times during the first season, that's not happening anymore. He was strong-armed into playing two up top. Even now, it worked once. He rolled the dice. It worked once. He rolled them against Crystal Palace. It didn't happen. Everything has to be just so for these tactics to work. What we saw against Crystal Palace was a defensive formation. Were there two up top? Yes, they were. But realistically, look at the line. Look at how deep everybody was. We were defending. The press conference is worrying from what he said. Didn't remember Roberto having to make a save. Thought we played well. We didn't. We were rubbish. I thought Crystal Palace were quite rubbish. They were just less rubbish than us. The added addition of them having two skillful players, as if you've watched the review last night, I thought particularly helped them. Southampton, we beat them. Great. But I said in the Southampton review, what the amount of times Danny Ings was getting at us towards the end of the game was a worry, was a concern. Many people agreed. Some people didn't. Some people thought actually that was fine. That was a comfortable win. I don't think the win against Chelsea looks too handsome now either. And what's a big worry is Southampton managed to pick up their form. They're above us. Would you place any money on us finishing the season above Southampton? You might place a couple of pence, but you wouldn't place any money that meant anything to you. Southampton probably will finish above us. Crystal Palace most certainly will. Well, Bournemouth, highly likely. And you start running through the teams and you start running out of teams that will finish below us. You're sort of left with Norwich at the moment. Watford, we got a bit of a points cushion against Watford. But Watford are a team in form. Watford are a team whose maverick players are starting to play and play well for them. And most crucially, Watford are a team that have changed their manager. Because they haven't dithered. Crikey, they've been ruthless. They've done it twice. So Watford have changed manager. Looks like it's working. Everton have changed manager. It wasn't just a new manager coming in either, by the way. Just a change of manager. They got the caretaker uplift. They got old Duncan Ferguson there. Spinning ball boys around and dancing and fist pumping to the crowd and getting everybody going. They've always got a double lift, haven't they? Because now they've got Ancelotti coming in. Arsenal have done it, of course, as well. Look, got Arteta. Will it work? Will it not work? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. The point is, there's a team that has dithered. There's a team that hasn't grasped the nettle, and it's West Ham United. So why Bournemouth? This is absolutely crazy. What are we waiting for exactly? I'll tell you a little story. The other day, I got a message from somebody, and they said that one of the owners had seen one of the videos, one of the lunchtime videos. One of the board members had, let's just put it that way. And they wanted to put the record straight that they wouldn't be taking any money out in January. Because, as you know, I've constantly mentioned that in January money would be coming out, that they were due the balance of their 43 million. I was told this it's hard, isn't it, with Christmas? It's hard to know what day's what. But let's say I was told this 6 or 7 days ago. My response was, well, actually, if you'd have paid full attention to the video, I had actually said in the video I didn't think they would take the money out. I thought, well, I just didn't think they were in a position to do so because I thought we would need the money for strengthening. I just wasn't sure whether it would happen this January or whether it would happen in the summer transfer window when a new manager would come in. But I was quite confident that they wouldn't be taking out the 43 million because they, as you'd remember if you watched the video, I think they don't want to be unpopular. They know what happened against Burnley. They don't want to be seen to be drawing that money out, and they're just not in a position to anyway. But now looking at it, and whilst I was pleased that somebody from the club had seen one of the videos, I think they watched the wrong one. I really do. I think they watched the wrong one. They should have watched the one where I said we were in trouble. They should have watched the Groundhog Day one that Mike did. They should have watched any number of the videos that we've done recently where we said we are in a relegation dogfight. Actually, that's not true. Because a dogfight gives the impression that we're fighting and we're battling and we're gritting our teeth and we're going to rough and tough it out. There's no dog in. We don't have a dog in the fight. We're just in a relegation. Again, battle. Can I use the word battle? No. There's no battle. We're in a relegation situation. If you want an accurate term, I'm going. I'm going tomorrow. I'm going to watch West Ham v Leicester. I'm going because I can, because I got transport, and because I want to go and see me mate. But I go there, and when I decided that I'm going to attend, I decided, I thought, well, this is going to be it's going to be Pellegrini's last hurrah. I think I was going with the intention and with the expectation that we would see a new manager in place. He is a broken man, Pellegrini. I did not expect to see him there. Well, we'll tune in later on. I'll be doing the preview with Gio later on this evening for the Leicester game. So I'll give my thoughts on Leicester then. But I don't know how long this has got to carry on for. The historical lessons are not being learnt. It seems like just above the relegation zone is not enough. It seems a little cushion is enough to keep the manager in place. It seems to me like flirting with relegation isn't quite going to do it. I think we may well have to be near certainties for it before they act. And I just find it totally and utterly infuriating that the news is being leaked that actually it might not be a great thing to change manager because we haven't had time to prepare. Well, you should have been preparing 6 weeks, 2 months ago. This preparation should have been done. You've let I mean, this is just crazy. You've basically, I'm talking to the owners, talking to the board. You've let the Chelsea game fool you. Really, you've let that fool you. You let the Southampton game fool you again. And all the time in between, we have wasted time. Wasted valuable, precious time. But it looks like, with this announcement, it's not an official announcement, but with this leak, that it might have until Bournemouth, there's more precious time being wasted. If you think that the manager coming in after the Bournemouth game doesn't have enough time, why wouldn't you just do it now? If time is precious, why aren't 5 more days precious? I mean, that's crazy. If you think 30 days is not enough to bring a player in, then make it 35, whatever it is. Not 35, is it? But you know what I mean? Give him another 4 days. Give him another 3 days. If time is precious, give him as much time as is possible. I really don't know how precarious the situation has got to be before we act. But I'm gobsmacked. I am absolutely gobsmacked. And possibly, here's a weird thing, by the way. There are some people that say they want West Ham to lose so as Pellegrini leaves. I understand that, by the way. I can understand why people would think that way. The trouble is we're beyond that now because every point is precious. We actually need points to stay clear of relegation. We got enough. We got half. We need to double our points tally again. I'm struggling to see where 20 points are coming from. I really am. The most dangerous result could well be a point against Bournemouth. I mean, it really could. Who knows what's going on? Pellegrini looks like a broken man. Noble lost his mind on a football pitch the other day. Rob Bonner. It does not look a happy place. Antonio's forgotten how to drive. It's crazy. This is crazy. Something and lots needs to change, and it needs to change very, very quickly. Because I fear, if we wait until the new year, which is what after Bournemouth is, we will be in a relegation zone, and we may well find that anything after that is too little, too late.